Look, I've been growing these 7 vegetables inside my house since last December. While my neighbors were stressing about skyrocketing produce prices in March, I was clipping fresh greens from my windowsill every single day. The crazy thing? 4 of these actually produced bigger harvests indoors than they ever would in an outdoor garden bed. Stay with me because indoor veggie number 5 is seriously going to change everything you thought you knew about winter gardening. I'm going to show you exactly how cold weather can become your best growing season. Welcome to Backyard Crops. I'm Adam Grove, and this channel exists to help you grow incredible food without draining your bank account. Whether you're watching for the first time or you've been part of our community for a while, I'm genuinely excited you're here. We're doing something special in this video. We're taking everything you know about gardening and flipping it completely upside down by moving the entire operation inside your home. This approach is going to revolutionize how you think about producing food during the coldest months of the year. Before we get into the specific vegetables, I need to ask something from you. Hit that subscribe button right this second. I'm completely serious about this request because the information I'm sharing today isn't some theoretical concept I pulled from an old gardening manual. These are real vegetables I've personally cultivated in my actual kitchen, and the results were so incredible that I knew I had to share this with the Backyard Crops community. Make sure you also click that notification bell because we release new money-saving gardening content every single week, and the upcoming videos are going to be absolutely packed with value you won't want to miss. Drop a comment right now telling me which vegetable you're most pumped to try growing. I personally read through every comment you leave, and I love connecting with fellow growers in our community. Here's the truth that mainstream gardening advice completely ignores about cold season growing. The conventional wisdom says your growing season dies the moment frost arrives, but experienced indoor growers know that's actually when the most exciting opportunities begin. Most vegetables struggle outdoors during winter because of wild temperature swings and brutal wind conditions. When you bring things inside, you literally become the climate controller. You decide every environmental factor. These 7 vegetables I'm going to walk you through don't just barely survive in an indoor environment, they genuinely flourish and produce abundantly. I can already hear your thoughts. Indoor gardening must cost a fortune in equipment and supplies, right? Completely wrong. The initial setup I'm going to demonstrate costs less than 4 visits to your local grocery store, and it's going to keep producing fresh vegetables for many months straight. We're talking about harvesting organic, pesticide-free vegetables from your kitchen counter while freezing temperatures and snow dominate everything outside. It's basically like maintaining a secret food production system that operates completely under the radar. The absolute best part? None of these are complicated, high-maintenance vegetables that require constant attention. Every single option I'm sharing is perfect for beginners. If you can remember to water plants and position them near natural light, you have all the skills necessary to succeed with this. If you're already feeling inspired and you can visualize fresh vegetables growing in your home right now, do me a massive favor. Smash that like button immediately. This tells the algorithm that this content provides real value, which helps more people discover budget-friendly growing methods. Share this video with anyone you know who complains about grocery prices or wants to eat healthier food. We're building something special here at Backyard Crops, and your support helps this community grow stronger. Let's dive into the vegetables. Indoor veggie number 1, microgreens. This first one almost feels unfair because it's absurdly simple, but microgreens are absolute champions for indoor growing. I'm not referring to those overpriced containers you find at expensive health food stores for $12 or $15. I'm talking about producing identical quality microgreens in your own kitchen for approximately 30 cents per growing tray. The economics are mind-blowing. Microgreens are perfect for winter indoor cultivation for several compelling reasons. They're completely ready to harvest in just 7 to 14 days. Let that sink in for a moment. 2 weeks from planting seeds to eating nutritious greens. No other vegetable delivers results anywhere close to that speed. The flavor intensity is remarkable too. It's like you're tasting the pure, concentrated essence of whatever plant variety you're growing. Radish microgreens deliver this amazing peppery punch that transforms boring salads into exciting dishes. Sunflower microgreens have this nutty, crunchy character that's incredibly satisfying. Pea shoots provide sweetness and tenderness that people absolutely love.
The setup process is incredibly straightforward. You need a shallow growing tray, roughly 1 inch of quality potting soil, and seeds. That's literally everything required. Scatter your chosen seeds densely across the soil surface. Press them down gently with your hand, mist everything with water, and cover with another tray to create complete darkness for the initial few days. Once you see sprouts emerging, move everything to your brightest available window location. Here's the money-saving trick that nobody shares publicly. After you harvest your first crop, don't discard that used soil. Fluff it up with your fingers, add a small amount of compost, and plant your next round of seeds. I've successfully reused the exact same soil for 5 consecutive growing cycles, and each crop grew just as vigorously as the first. That's how you minimize costs while maximizing continuous harvest production. The financial return here is absolutely insane when you calculate it properly. A single seed packet costs maybe $2 or $3 and provides enough seeds for 20 or more trays. Each tray you grow replaces one of those expensive store containers. Do the simple math. You're saving massive amounts of money while consuming the freshest, most nutrient-packed greens imaginable. Plus, harvesting takes seconds. Just cut what you need with scissors and you're done.
Indoor veggie number 2, lettuce. Lettuce is our second indoor champion, but we're not growing it using traditional methods. We're going compact, we're going fast, and we're going to harvest multiple times from individual plants using a technique that maximizes production. Variety selection is critical here. You want loose leaf lettuce varieties, not head-forming types. Options like butter crunch, oak leaf, or salad bowl varieties are ideal because they grow quickly and respond perfectly to the cut and come again harvesting method. This technique means you snip off the mature outer leaves when they reach eating size, and the plant continuously produces new leaves from the central growing point. A single plant can supply salad leaves for 2 full months or longer. Here's where indoor growing actually produces superior results compared to outdoor cultivation. Outside in the garden, lettuce becomes bitter when temperatures climb. The plant panics in hot weather and attempts to produce seeds, which completely ruins the flavor profile. Indoors, you maintain steady, cool temperatures, which means your lettuce stays sweet and crispy the entire growing period. It's genuinely better quality than summer lettuce. The budget-friendly setup is simple. Grab some 4-inch pots or repurposed plastic cups, poke several drainage holes in the bottom, fill with regular potting mix, and plant 3 to 4 seeds per container. Once seedlings emerge, thin them down to the 2 strongest plants. Position everything on your sunniest windowsill or supplement with a basic LED grow light if your windows don't receive much direct sun. Water whenever the top inch of soil feels dry to your touch. Here's a professional tip that makes a huge difference. Lettuce absolutely loves cooler temperature ranges. If you have any room in your home that stays around 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, that's lettuce paradise. A spare bedroom, a basement with a window, or even a cool garage with supplemental lighting works perfectly. You can begin harvesting outer leaves as soon as they reach about 4 inches long. Don't wait for a full head to form. The beauty of loose leaf varieties is that you take exactly what you need when you need it. Morning omelet, grab 3 leaves. Evening sandwich, grab 5 more. The plant just keeps producing indefinitely. Indoor veggie number 3, radishes. This third option might surprise you. Radishes. Before you think radishes are boring or unexciting, let me stop you immediately. Indoor radishes create a completely different eating experience compared to those sad, forgotten vegetables sitting in your grocery bag for too long. Radishes are genuine speed demons in the vegetable world. We're talking 25 to 30 days from seed to harvest. That's less than a month. Unlike outdoor radishes that can develop woody, tough texture if you miss the perfect harvest window, indoor radishes grow more slowly and evenly, which gives you a much bigger harvest window. They stay crisp and mild-flavored for longer periods. The secret to successful indoor radish growing is providing adequate depth and proper spacing. You need container at least 6 inches deep because that developing bulb needs room to properly form. Shallow containers give you all leafy tops and no actual radish. Use a pot that's at least 6 inches wide too, and plant seeds about 2 inches apart. Yes, spacing genuinely matters. Crowded radishes will produce tiny, disappointing bulbs that nobody wants to eat. Here's what makes this so budget-friendly. Radish seeds are dirt cheap. You can buy a complete packet for less than the cost of a candy bar. That packet contains enough seeds for multiple successive plantings. Plus, radishes don't need expensive fertilizer. A basic potting mix with a little compost mixed in works perfectly well.
The fun part is experimenting with different varieties. Try various types and discover your favorites. Cherry bell radishes are round, red, and classic. French breakfast radishes are oblong and have this gorgeous red to white color gradient. Easter egg radishes come in pink, purple, red, and white. You can grow a rainbow of colors. Here's a bonus most people don't know. Radish greens are completely edible and genuinely delicious. They have a slight peppery taste and are absolutely packed with nutrients. So even if your bulbs don't form perfectly, you still win because those greens are incredible in stir fries or sautéed with garlic. Nothing goes to waste. Make sure you're subscribed to Backyard Crops and you've got notifications turned on. We're dropping new content every single week that'll help you grow more food for less money. Hit that like button if you're learning valuable information today.
Indoor veggie number 4, spinach. This is where indoor growing becomes absolutely unbeatable. Spinach is what I call a cool season sweetheart. It hates hot weather, which is why it's so challenging to grow outdoors in summer, but winter indoors? This plant thinks it's an absolute heaven. Spinach grows beautifully in containers, and just like lettuce, you can harvest it using the cut and come again method. Snip the outer leaves when they're about 3 to 4 inches long, and the plant keeps pumping out new growth from the center. One container of spinach can feed you for months if you manage it properly. The variety I recommend for indoor growing is called Space or Bloomsdale. Both are compact, productive, and handle lower light conditions better than other greens. If your windows don't receive tons of direct sun, spinach is more forgiving than lettuce. Container size matters here too. Go for pots that are at least 6 inches deep and 8 inches wide. You can fit about 4 spinach plants in a container that size. Fill with quality potting mix, plant your seeds about an inch apart, and water gently. Spinach seeds are tiny, so don't bury them deep. Just press them into the surface and cover with a thin layer of soil. Temperature is your friend with spinach. It loves cool environments. If you keep your house around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, spinach is perfectly happy. It actually tastes sweeter in cooler conditions because the plant produces more sugars to protect itself from cold stress. Here's the money-saving magic of spinach. A bag of organic spinach at the store costs, what, $4 or $5? And it goes bad in your fridge within days. A packet of spinach seeds costs $2, gives you hundreds of seeds, and you harvest fresh leaves whenever you want. No waste, no wilting, no throwing money away. The savings compound over time in a really significant way. Indoor veggie number 5, green onions. This 5th one is what I promised would blow your mind. Green onions. But we're not growing these from purchased seeds. We're growing them from kitchen scraps, which means your cost is literally $0. This is the ultimate budget hack for indoor gardening. Here's exactly how it works. Next time you buy green onions from the store, use the green tops like you normally would for cooking, but save the white root ends. You know, the parts you usually throw away without thinking. Those roots are pure magic. Stick them in a glass of water on your windowsill, and within just a few days, you'll see new green growth shooting up. Within 2 weeks, you've got fully regrown green onions ready to harvest again. But here's where we level up this technique. After regrowing them in water once or twice, transplant those roots into soil. This gives you a continuous supply that's even stronger and more productive. Use a container at least 4 inches deep, fill it with potting mix, and plant the root ends so the white part is covered but the green growth sticks out. Water regularly, keep them in bright light, and watch them explode with growth. You can harvest green onions the same way we've been harvesting other greens. Snip off what you need from the top, and the plant keeps growing. I've had the same green onion roots producing for 6 months straight. That's half a year of free green onions from something you would have thrown in the trash. The flavor of homegrown green onions is sharper and more vibrant than store-bought. They add this fresh, punchy taste to everything from scrambled eggs to ramen to tacos. And because you're growing them yourself, there's no slimy, gross green onions dying in your fridge. You harvest what you need exactly when you need it. This is one of those things that makes you feel like a genius. You're literally creating food from trash. Your friends would think you're some kind of gardening wizard, but really, you just stuck some roots in dirt and added water. It's that simple. If you're not subscribed to Backyard Crops yet, what are you waiting for? Click that button right now. Indoor veggie number 6, arugula. If you've never grown this before, prepare to become obsessed.
Arugula is what I call a gateway green. Once you taste homegrown arugula, you'll never go back to the store-bought stuff. Arugula grows fast. We're talking 20 to 30 days from seed to first harvest. It's cold tolerant, which makes it perfect for indoor winter growing. And the flavor is incredible. It has this peppery, slightly nutty taste that adds personality to salads, sandwiches, and even pizza. Throw fresh arugula on a homemade pizza right as it comes out of the oven. Trust me on this recommendation. The growing process is almost identical to lettuce and spinach. Shallow containers work fine because arugula has a small root system. A container about 4 inches deep and any width you want is perfect. Scatter seeds across the surface, cover lightly with soil, water gently, and place in bright light. Here's what makes arugula special for budget gardeners. It's a cut-and-come-again green, so one planting gives you multiple harvests. Start snipping leaves when they're about 3 inches long. If you wait too long, the leaves get more peppery and intense, which some people love and others find too strong. The beauty is you control the flavor but choosing when to harvest. Arugula also reseeds itself like crazy if you let a few plants bolt and flower. Those flowers are edible, by the way, and have a mild, sweet flavor. Once the flowers turn into seed pods, you can collect the seeds for free and have unlimited arugula forever. You buy seeds once, and you're set for life. Temperature-wise, arugula is tough. It handles cooler indoor temperatures better than almost any other green. If you have a drafty window or a cooler room, arugula doesn't care. It just keeps growing. This makes it perfect for people who don't want to fuss with creating perfect conditions. Arugula is forgiving and productive. Indoor veggie number 7, kale. I know kale has this reputation as the trendy health food that tastes like eating a tree, but indoor kale is completely different. It's tender, it's sweet, and it's one of the most productive vegetables you can grow indoors. The variety matters. For indoor growing, choose dwarf or compact varieties like dwarf blue-curled or winter boar. These stay smaller and bushier, which makes them perfect for containers. Regular kale varieties get huge and gangly indoors, which waste space and energy. Container size is important with kale. You need pots at least 8 inches deep and 8 inches wide. Kale has a decent root system, and cramped roots mean small, sad leaves. Fill your container with good potting mix, plant 2 to 3 seeds per pot, and thin to the strongest seedling once they sprout. Kale loves cold temperatures, just like spinach. It actually gets sweeter after exposure to cold. Indoors, this means kale grown in a cooler room tastes better than kale grown in a warm room. If you have a basement with windows or a sunroom that doesn't get heated much, kale will be incredibly happy there. Harvesting kale is where the magic happens. Always harvest from the bottom up. Take the lowest, oldest leaves first, and leave the top leaves and the growing tip alone. This allows the plant to keep producing new leaves from the top while you harvest from the bottom. One kale plant can produce for months using this method. I've had single plants give me over 50 leaves across 4 months. That's insane productivity from one little pot. Here's the budget breakdown. A kale plant at a nursery costs about $4 and gives you maybe 10 leaves before it's done. A packet of kale seeds costs $2 and contains 30 to 50 seeds. Each seed becomes a plant that produces 50+ leaves. The savings are almost silly when you actually calculate it. And kale is nutritious beyond belief. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Growing it yourself means you're eating the freshest, most nutrient-dense version possible. No long transportation, no sitting in warehouses, no nutrient loss. Just pure, fresh superfood growing 3 feet from your kitchen. Common mistakes to avoid. Before we wrap up, I need to talk about the biggest mistakes people make with indoor winter gardening, because I've made every single one of these and I want to save you the frustration. Mistake number 1 is overwatering. This kills more indoor vegetables than anything else. Indoor plants don't dry out as fast as outdoor plants because there's no wind and usually less light. Stick your finger in the soil before watering. If the top inch is dry, water. If it's still moist, wait. Overwatered plants get yellow leaves, mushy stems, and root rot. It's heartbreaking to watch. Mistake number 2 is not providing enough light. Most vegetables need at least 6 hours of bright light per day. If your windows are shaded or face north, you're going to struggle. The solution is cheap LED grow lights. You can get basic ones for $15 to $20, and they completely change the game. Position them about 6 inches above your plants and run them for 12 to 14 hours per day. Mistake number 3 is using poor quality soil. Don't use dirt from your yard or garden. It's too heavy for containers and often contains pests or diseases. Spend a few dollars on actual potting mix. It's light, it drains well, and it has the right texture for container growing. This one purchase makes everything easier. Mistake number 4 is planting everything at once. If you plant all your lettuce seeds on the same day, they'll all be ready to harvest at the same time, and you'll be drowning in lettuce. Instead, practice succession planting. Plant a new container every 2 weeks. This spreads out your harvest and gives you continuous production instead of feast or famine. Mistake number 5 is forgetting about airflow. Indoor plants need air circulation to prevent mold and disease. If your growing area feels stuffy, point a small fan toward your plants on the lowest setting. You don't want hurricane-force winds, just gentle movement. This simple step prevents a ton of problems. Avoid these mistakes, and your indoor winter garden will thrive instead of just survive. The money breakdown. Let's talk money for a minute, because this is Backyard Crops, and we care about your budget as much as we care about your harvest. Here's what you need to get started with all 7 of these vegetables. Potting mix costs about $8 for a bag that'll fill multiple containers. Seeds for all 7 vegetables combined cost maybe $12 to $15 if you buy budget seed packets. Containers can be free if you repurpose yogurt containers, takeout containers, or plastic cups. Just poke holes in the bottom. If you want to buy actual pots, you're looking at another $8 to $10. So, total startup cost, about $20 to $30 if you repurpose containers, maybe $40 if you buy everything new. That's it. Now compare that to buying these same vegetables at the grocery store every week for 3 months. Organic greens cost about $4 to $6 per package. If you buy just 2 packages per week over 3 months, that's close to $150 or more. Growing them yourself costs a fraction of that and gives you fresher, better-tasting produce. The return on investment is incredible. Plus, once you have the setup, your only ongoing cost is seeds. And, as I mentioned with arugula and green onions, you can even eliminate that cost by regrowing and saving seeds. This isn't just about saving money, though. It's about food security, knowing exactly where your food comes from, and the satisfaction of eating something you grew with your own hands. That feeling is priceless. Final thoughts for success. Before we finish, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts that'll set you up for success. First, start small. Don't try to grow all 7 vegetables at once if you're brand new to this. Pick 2 or 3 that excite you most and master those. Once you've got the rhythm down, expand from there. Gardening should be fun, not stressful. Second, keep a simple journal. Jot down when you planted, when you harvested, what worked, and what didn't. Indoor growing is a learning process, and your notes will help you improve every single time. I started doing this 3 years ago, and it transformed my success rate. Third, don't be afraid to experiment. Try different seed varieties, play with container sizes, test different locations in your home. Some of my best discoveries happened by accident because I tried something unconventional. And fourth, embrace imperfection. Not every seed will sprout, not every plant will be Instagram worthy. That's okay. You're still growing food, you're still learning, and you're still way ahead of people who haven't even tried. And finally, share your harvest. When you've got fresh lettuce or spinach or radishes coming out of your kitchen, give some to neighbors or friends. The look on people's faces when you tell them you grew it indoors in winter is amazing. You'll inspire others to start growing too. And that's how we build a community of smart, budget-conscious gardeners. Wrap up. We've covered everything you need to grow these 7 winter vegetables indoors for quick harvests without spending a fortune. Microgreens, lettuce, radishes, spinach, green onions, arugula, and kale. These are your cold season champions, and they're going to keep your kitchen stocked with fresh produce all winter long. If this video helped you, if you learned something new, or if you're fired up to start your indoor garden, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to Backyard Crops. We're here every week with practical, budget-friendly tips that actually work. Click that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below and tell me which vegetable you're growing first. Are you team microgreens for that super fast harvest? Team kale for the long-term production? I want to know. And if you've got questions about anything we covered today, ask away in the comments. I'll answer every single one. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you being here, and I can't wait to see what you grow. Remember, winter doesn't mean your garden has to stop. It just means your garden moves inside. I'm Adam Grove, and this is Backyard Crops. Now go grab some seeds, and let's grow something amazing together. I'll see you in the next video.